Before I take you on the trailer, I want to show you something. There are two different types of pipe laying here I want to show you. This is called polyethylene. This is called PEX. I do not remember what PEX stands for, but we'll go through that later. Poly was used especially in mobile homes and even in some of the older stick-built homes because it was cheap. And, well, cheap doesn't mean it was any better. Cheap means it was cheap. This would freeze and it might swell up. This is about a half-inch line. It would swell up to about a 3/4 inch line and bust. And if you look here, the fittings for it are hard plastic. There are also PEX, poly, but it was hard, and that was more than likely the place that it would fail at was in the joint, and when it got cold and froze. But we got over here what's called PEX. PEX can swell up to 3 times its size without busting. This is a 3/4 inch pipe, and so you just imagine that if it's a 3/4 inch pipe and it can swell up another 3/4 inches, that is what, 1.5 inches. So it can swell up to 1.5 inches or even 2 inches before it fails. And the good thing about it is here is this right here, the fittings for this type of pipe is brass. Brass is a soft/hard metal. It's harder than copper, but it's softer than steel. So it does have a potential of swelling. Well, the rings here that hold each joint together are copper. So if this piece, which is, like I said, brass, was to ever swell, this would swell with it. The metal will not go back down. Like this may be forgiving. The plastic may go back down, but I doubt it. Unless it swells just too big, I mean, it might go back down to normal size once the ice melts, if it doesn't freeze too bad. And here in North Carolina, we don't get too bad of winters. But anyways, the brass may swell a little bit, and that's why there's copper here. Copper will swell and still hold a good watertight seal. And I will show you how to crimp these things together and how to make them work here in a few minutes. And I really thank you for watching this. I just wanted to go over that with you briefly and show you that if there's any other type of water line that you could use besides PEX, besides PEX, it would be copper, because copper, even the fittings for copper are copper, and the lead or even unleaded solder that you use will expand also as it freezes or gets cold. That way you do not lose your seal. But the top #1 choice for most people nowadays in home building or remodeling is PEX. And so I just wanted to give you that as a little reminder that if you go to do any plumbing, you want to change some water lines out, you added a new toilet, you added a new sink or whatever, go with PEX. It's not only affordable, you can get 75 feet of it for like $50 or 100 feet of it for like $50 or $75, but it is strong and it will last. And I will see you in the next clip.